Hello, beautiful beings. I'm Mama Belle from Mama Belle's Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I'll be doing a mind, body, soul reading for Virgo. The messages in this reading are for any part of your chart in this sign, with special emphasis on sun, moon, and rising. Before we get started, I wanted to say that this is a general reading and not meant as advice of any professional sort, including but not limited to medical or legal advice. Most importantly, I would like to say thank you for clicking here. If any of this reading resonates, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Now on to the reading. So tonight we are going to be using the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. We are first going to get a card for the mind, then one for the body, and one for the soul. After that, we're going to get a card for the overall message for the reading. And then the bottom of the deck is going to be advice for moving through the messages in the reading. After that, we're going to get a card from the Sacred Creators Oracle, which is also by Chris Ann. And that will be your reading. So, what messages does Virgo need to hear for the mind? Okay, and for the body and the soul. What messages for the soul for Virgo? Oh. I'm going to assume these are both met for that. Okay. And the overall message. Oh. How many is that? That's 3. I feel like 3 is acceptable. 3 is kind of my super limit on how many cards. Because otherwise then it starts to get a little bit too crazy and chaotic. And yeah, can't be having that. I mean, I guess you can, but I find that gets to be a bit too much. All right, so we have the mind. So for the mind, the card that you got is the 4 of Swords. What I'm getting is that you need a mental rest. You need a moment to take some time to heal. Healing is very important both for the mind and the body. The other thing I wanted to notice, or that I noticed here, is that there's also a sloth on the card. And when I see that, it really tells me it's time for you to slow down. Maybe even take a nap, because this sloth is definitely got its eyes closed. I think it's potentially napping. So what I'm sensing here, Virgo, is take some time. Your brain really needs a rest. Your mind needs a nap. Take that nap so you can let it heal. An important part of healing anything is rest. It doesn't matter what it is. Rest is important for a full healing. So for the body, you got the Knight of Cups. Oh, all right then. So the Knight of Cups is all knight in shining armor kind of vibes and feelings. And what it tells me is that you're really coming to love your body. Or even just starting to, really just trying to. You're trying to show up for yourself in a very loving and compassionate way, the way someone who is a knight in shining armor would for their princess. Continue that love for the body, because it is so important to have this. The love for the self and the love for the body is something that I feel is still really new in society. And it can be something so simple as just taking care of it, whether it's nourishing it, hydrating it, moving it properly, or even going back to that rest from the Four of Swords. Like we're resting the mind, resting the body is also important. But continue loving it in the ways that it needs to be loved. For the soul, you have two cards. You have the Eight of Cups and the Three of Wands. So we'll start with the Eight of Cups. What I feel like this is telling me here is you're walking away from what doesn't serve your soul. Your soul is done with these things. It's learned the lessons. Thank you for the emotions and all of the things that you've taught me. I am now moving on because I have something better coming for me. The Three of Wands is about this adventure, ready to go and explore the world. You've got the sun coming up through these mountains, and that's kind of like, to me, it says, sorry, excuse me. To me, that says there's a lot of bright stuff coming in your future. You have to get past these obstacles, these mountains, in order to get to that. And because you've got the Eight of Cups that you're walking away, maybe those are your obstacles before you can get to your adventure. Your soul is ready to let these things go so it can find something new, so it can find what is meant for your soul. Because you know that whatever this is, isn't meant for you anymore. And that's okay. It can be really tough, which is also okay for that to happen. But that's how you learn what is for you and what isn't, is by going through those lessons of this doesn't feel good in my soul and I need to move on. I need to go on this bigger adventure. So for the overall message, you got 3 cards, which is a first. We have the Four of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So what I'm getting is that the overall message to move through is there's a lot of celebration and love going on. And it's a new opportunity. But there's going to be some fears and some doubts. I think that's why you got so many, is because it feels really big. The Four of Wands is a card that people typically associate with marriage, and that's a big commitment. That's huge. The Ace of Pentacles is all about new beginnings, planting new seeds. That's putting in the very beginning of new work. This is before you know if it's going to work out or not, and that can be scary. That can be really scary because of the past experiences you have. You can have doubts because if something feels unknown, you don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how things are going to work out. And the unknown is really scary. And sometimes it can feel familiar, which is why it's scary, because you've been down this road before. You think you know exactly where it leads. It didn't go well last time, so maybe it's not going to go well this time. So while you're dealing with those doubts and fears, remember that this is a new opportunity that can go extremely well. You don't get married because this isn't good for you. I mean, maybe some people do. That's very possible. But I find that typically these days, there's a lot of good intentions that typically come with a marriage. And so I don't imagine that you're doing this because you assume it's going to fail. I hope not. I can't imagine any Virgo is going, I don't think it's going to work out. Let's do it. It doesn't sound like a very Virgo move to me. So the bottom of the deck for me, I believe I already said, but just in case, this is how to move through the energy. And you have the Six of Pentacles. If I can get my words correct. Man, words are hard tonight. So you have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is about giving what you need to give and keeping what you need to keep. But ultimately, it's all about nourishing the things that need to grow. So what I tend to get from this particular depiction is a very inner parent, inner child relationship where you're learning to give, your inner parent is learning to give to your inner child or inner children in a healthy way. So continue being healthy in the earthly aspects, because that's what the pentacles are all about, is these earth moments, these earthly beings, things that are materials. So give to your body and these earthly things in a very balanced way. And you just can't go wrong with that. So now we're going to get a card from the Sacred Creators Oracle. And I will be reading directly from the book. There's going to be an essential meaning as well as a self-care message. The essential meaning is as if you get it in the upright, and the self-care message is like you get it in the reverse. I'll be reading both because I tend to find for myself that both are really important to hear, and there's usually a message in the whole card's meaning rather than just one or the other. So, what message does Virgo need to hear from the Sacred Creators Oracle? Okay. You have card number 42. Cut the cords of doubt. 42. Essential meanings. Rising against any odds, letting go of doubt, fulfilling your soul path, tackling creator angst and launching anyway, shining like a frickin' sun and delivering your genius and brilliance. Self-care message. Being constrained by doubt and fear, not taking a chance, choosing to skip your amazing opportunities and staying in the comfort zone. It's kind of funny that was like the first part, both the essential meanings and the self-care message, because really this speaks about that Nine of Swords energy we talked about earlier as your overall theme of the reading, the overall message. Just find it very interesting how these usually tend to tie together, and these are different decks. Doubt can taint the most beautiful of circumstance or change its trajectory by keeping it unnaturally constrained. It can be an incessant tether, and it may be getting in the way of something you have been thinking about doing. This card is a wonderful sign to take a risk on your brilliance. It assures a journey of success and freedom, and it whispers of pure potential when you embrace your true nature. Your desire, your essence, is like a phoenix rising from the constraints of its old form, or like an angel rising up to the heavens. When you let go of your anchors and are unbound by the gravity of fear, you will easily see which shackles, habits, or beliefs need to be released first. What is weighing you down, Creator Love? It's time to let go and release sadness or anger, guilt or shame, and to exhale doubt and inhale love. Spread your wings and glide home, because the whole of the universe supports this radiant rising of your spectacular spirit. This card shows a phoenix rising from the constraints of its old form, an angel rising up to the heavens, or a fey creature who is not bound by the gravity of doubt. What do you see? And when you get its bird's eye view of your shackles and see exactly which areas of your life weigh you down, which cords need to be cut first? I really like this reading, Virgo. This feels like a good sort of intense. How do I explain that? It feels very tied together, which always kind of tells me that the whole reading is meant for you. It almost feels personal sometimes when that happens, but in a good way. Like, it feels this was meant to happen this way because there's messages for you. So if you're watching this, I hope that the message resonated with you. And if it did, again, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you think that someone else would enjoy this reading, please share it with them. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, nourish, hydrate, rest, Virgo. I am Mama Belle, and I will see you for your next reading as soon as I can. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.